10 places you should visit before you die. Hostels are one of the great ways to travel solo around the world. The vibe and sense of community in hostels set them apart from other accommodation options, like Airbnbs. Many people may think of hostels as just cheap accommodation for penny-counting backpackers, and there's certainly sometimes merit in that. But some hostels go above and beyond and offer unique and intriguing experiences, like Space Hotel in Malaysia and Hostel Celica, a political prison-turned-hostel museum in Slovenia. One of the unique hostels in Kuala Lumpur is Space Hotel. It is one of the most original hostels one hoped to find, combining capsule accommodation with space travel and even robots reminiscent of the old cartoon series The Jetsons. Real space tourism may be becoming a thing. Even Captain Kirk went to space. It seems impossible for a person to discover the whole world in just their lifetime, but that doesn't stop many from trying. There are so many breathtaking places to visit, some strange, beautiful, crazy, confusing, and extraordinary places. Many people have a bucket list, and this means things they want to do in life, so for people that have no idea what to put on their bucket list, here are some suggestions below. 10. Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu is the most well-known spot in Peru. The beautiful views of the stunning mountains surrounding it are definitely worth it and can be seen from lodges or rooms when staying there. The city was abandoned after becoming a building site for the Inca Empire's city. The Spanish invaders never found it and nature took over before an explorer discovered the city in 1911. The city was hard to access and only available by foot or train and was protected by mountains. It is now one of the 7 wonders of the world. It is believed that sacrifices and burial rituals went on here, and more than 100 skeletons have been found here. Embedded within a dramatic landscape at the meeting point between the Peruvian Andes and the Amazon basin, the historic sanctuary of Machu Picchu is among the greatest artistic, architectural and land use achievements anywhere, and the most significant tangible legacy of the Inca civilization. Recognized for outstanding cultural and natural values, the mixed World Heritage property covers 32,592 hectares of mountain slopes, peaks and valleys surrounding its heart. The spectacular archaeological monument of La Ciudadela, the Citadel, at more than 2,400 meters above sea level. Built in the 15th century, Machu Picchu was abandoned when the Inca Empire was conquered by the Spaniards in the 16th century. It was not until 1911 that the archaeological complex was made known to the outside world. 9. Pamukkale, Turkey. Turkey is home to a singularly beautiful infinity pool, with snow-white hot springs, which not many people know about. Nevertheless, Pamukkale still has 2 million tourists a year. At the top of this beautiful place is another astonishing attraction, which is the ruins of the ancient Roman spa city called Hierapolis. Pamukkale translates to Cotton Castle in Turkish, and when tourists visit here they will understand exactly why. Pamukkale has lots of white pools huddled into the hillside, but no one understands how this place was created. Opening times are 6 a.m. to midnight, so there is plenty of time to explore the place. The combination of striking natural formations and the development of a complex system of canals, bringing the thermal water to nearby villages and fields, is exceptional. The springs are the source of a hydraulic system extending 70 kilometers northwest to Alaşehir and westwards along the valley of the Menderes River. Pamukkale forms an important backdrop to the original Greco-Roman town of Hierapolis and the cultural landscape which dominates the area. 8. Northern Lights. Northern Lights are very popular and stunning and are one of the top options on a travel bucket list for many people. The sun lets off charged particles that interact between Earth's magnetic field, causing astonishing bright lights that charge through the night sky with all different colors including purples, greens, pinks, and yellows. There is no traditional season to see these lights, as they are always there and can never be missed. This is something that always happens in Earth's atmosphere. The best places to spot these lights are Iceland, Alaska, Norway, and northern Canada. 7. The Dead Sea, Israel. The Dead Sea, which is in Israel and is open to the public and is quite a different experience. It is the lowest place on the Earth, going below sea level, and it is also nearly 10 times saltier than the ocean. Because of this, tourists will float when getting in. Not only that, but tourists also enjoy visiting here for the healing waters and no sunburn because of the air being rich in oxygen. Tourists can spot rare animals here and many historical sites. Drop in the lake level in the late 20th and early 21st centuries changed the physical appearance of the Dead Sea. Most noticeably, the peninsula of Al Lisan gradually extended eastward, until the lake's northern and southern basins became separated by a strip of dry land. In addition, The southern basin was eventually subdivided into dozens of large evaporation pools for the extraction of salt, so by the 21st century it had essentially ceased to be a natural body of water. The northern basin, effectively now the actual Dead Sea, largely retained its overall dimensions despite its great loss of water, mainly because its shoreline plunged downward so steeply from the surrounding landscape. 6. Iceland. Iceland is one of the most popular tourist attractions, and this is because it is very naturally stunning and it is known as the land of fire and ice. Here, tourists will get to admire mountains, ice fields, snow-covered volcanoes, and the famous Blue Lagoon. The most exciting thing about the volcanoes here is tourists can even go inside the magma chamber. Iceland was actually the last place to be settled by humans, and when here tourists should make sure they wear thermals no matter what the season is. 5. Colosseum, Rome. This is a big building made by Roman engineers and where 50,000 people sat to watch the gladiator fights below them. The underground of the Colosseum was once where the animals were kept and the gladiators prepared for their competition. This has now been opened to the public. An earthquake damaged the Colosseum in 1349 and most of the south part collapsed. Instead of rebuilding, the stone was used for hospitals and churches. 4. Grand Canal, Venice. Many years ago in Venice, any resident that wanted to be of note had to have their own palace facing the Grand Canal, and now there are palaces facing the canal at each side all the way along, and it's a very popular tourist attraction. The city is known as a floating city in water and people get around here by boat. Tourists can explore the whole length of the canal here by boat. A motorboat tour is quite popular. There will be a guide who will point out all the palaces and even take the boat close to them for even better views. 3. Great Barrier Reef. Tourists come here, especially to scuba dive and go snorkeling, and when down there are peaceful clicking sounds of reef life. The water is a beautiful clear blue, diffused with the brightest colors of sea life. There are 7 species of turtle in the world and 6 of them can be found here. Hatching season is January to March, and this is when tourists will spot turtles heading down to the beach after hatching, which is a heartwarming sight. 2. The Great Wall of China. This extremely long wall is very iconic and is another one of the 7 wonders of the world. The wall is just over 21 kilometers long and was built to protect and defend from foreign invaders. The wall goes all the way along the northern borders of China and was built over 1,500 years ago. Tourists will also be able to stay here in the local hotels and eat at restaurants to really make the most of their visit. 1. Sot Do Waterfall. This waterfall is a very holy place, and it is believed that on a palm tree nearby Virgin Mary appeared. So a man who was very worried about the cultural beliefs chopped it down, but the area became sacred. In 2010 there was an earthquake, and since then, even more tourists have been visiting and trying to ask the Virgin Mary for her blessings. Sick and poor people do rituals here with the water running on them which last 3 days. For over a century, Haitians have trekked in from miles around, even more so since the catastrophic 2010 earthquake, to ask the Virgin Mary, or the closely associated Voodoo Elwa, or Zuli Dantor, for her blessings. Like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel.